Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, along with my amazing co-host,
Cheri Martin, and we are the WCN Interactive Team, Business Growth, Marketing, and Social Media Strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
For growth, prosperity, and success. And each Wednesday at 12 noon on TalkNetworkRadio.com, we share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
Yes, yes, yes. And we also want to make sure that our listeners are aware that if you are online listening to us and you have to take off to get back into work or to leave to go to lunch, you can always take us on the go by downloading that free app. It's the Talk Network Radio app on your iPhone or your Android. That way you'll never miss anything from the So Social Radio Show. And we also want to invite you to make sure you connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show. Our guest is calling in today from the Orlando area. We do have a top pinned post on So Social Radio Show that if you have any questions at all, please go there, write them in the comments section underneath that top pinned post, and we'll make sure we get to those questions with our guest today. But before we get started, and I do our official introduction of someone we're welcoming back, a very good friend of ours, can't wait to introduce her to our new listeners. We want to definitely give a shout out to our sponsors.
Absolutely so. They make all of this possible. I want to start out with Toastmasters, a world leader in communications and leadership development. Find out how you can improve your speaking and leadership skills. Visit toastmastersd84.org.
Also, Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. You can be a marketer with one toolkit, one login, and also get a 60-day free trial so that you can actually experience how Constant Contact works before you pay any money. There's no contract, no credit card needed. Just go to bit.ly/WCN free CTCT and get started growing your marketing list. And again, that is bit.ly/WCN FREECTCT.
EverythingBrevard.com, a Brevard County, Florida community website, keeping you up to date with everything that's happening in Brevard, and get your business listing on Everything Brevard also.
And also Business Acceleration Summit. Shannon Gronich is the founder of the Business Acceleration Summit. She actually has created a conscious business partnership through engaging purposeful events, and she invites you to actually come and play with them at the next event, which is September 28, 29, and 30th this year, 2017, at the Hilton Rialto here in Melbourne, Florida. You can actually get all the information and see what amazing mentors and coaches she has at her events, and that is at businessaccelerationsummit.com. So Now we get to introduce our amazing guest, and she actually is a very good friend of ours, her and her husband, and also a partner on the So Social Radio Show with the Toastmasters District 84. So without further ado, I want to introduce to our listening audience today Nancy Hoehn, who is currently the District Director for Toastmasters International District 84. That encompasses the Central to North Florida area. There's about 4,000 members and over 200 clubs that she oversees there. The district director is responsible for the financial well-being of the district, as well as leading a team of over 70 volunteers to ensure the member of Toastmasters receive a quality experience in the clubs that they join. And as a public speaker and nonprofit organization leader, Nancy has served Toastmasters International District 84 in numerous leadership positions, including conference chair, club extension chair, public relations manager, division governor, lieutenant governor marketing, and program quality director. She's currently finishing her term as District 84 director and has earned the organization's highest designation of distinguished Toastmaster. As a member of Northland, a church distributed, Nancy serves in various support roles and is developing a strategic plan to incorporate Toastmasters to help discipleship teams improve their communication skills. Nancy has also served on the educational board for the Eddie Keys Training Group, which works toward anti-bullying, character building, manners, social skills, and diversity awareness for today's youth. She's also a former executive director of the Winter Park chapter of WOMTAC, and that is Women on a Mission to Earn Commission. I'll tell you what, today's conversation is all about leaderships. Who else, who better to have as our special guest today than Nancy Hoehn herself, because she is definitely a shining example of being a phenomenal leader. So, Nancy, welcome and thank you for coming back.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to be here. And again, I always enjoy being on the show and, talking with you and Richard and really sharing some great information for all of your listeners.
Well, I know we have all been busy. We've been wanting to have you on, a number of times the last few months, and you've been busy over there in the Orlando area, and especially with all the different functions that you have going on with Toastmasters. I don't think you and Scott are ever home.
No, we've definitely been busy.
Well, and I say that because I've realized, I think it was January was the last time we had you here with us.
Oh, wow, yes.
So it has been a while.
It has been quite a while. Well, at least we're getting in right at the end of the year here.
Yes.
The Toastmaster year, that is.
Yeah, when Nancy shared with us when we were getting ready for the show today that as of this Friday, right, is when you step down and the new district director takes over. So what's your next role going to be?
It's called POT. It's a plain old Toastmaster.
And I bet you're looking forward to it, right?
Oh, yes. Actually, I will be the immediate past district director. I still am a voting member of the district executive committee, but I won't have, a day-to-day role in the organization. I'll be serving as nominating committee chair and a couple of other functions, but much smaller role than the past few years. For
a short while, anyway. I know you.
Yeah, you can't keep out of the mix. We know that.
No, when you're a Toastaholic, sometimes you just have to have a little bit every day.
That brings up a good point. Why should our So Social radio show audience really care about Toastmasters in general?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, yeah. Why should our So Social radio show audience care about Toastmasters or what the benefits are?
Well, Toastmasters, of course, a lot of times I find out that it's probably the best-kept secret. A lot of people have never even heard of Toastmasters, and Toastmasters is actually an international organization. It's a world leader in communication and leadership development. There are about 345,000 members in about 142 countries, and members improve their speaking and leadership skills by attending over 1,590 clubs throughout the world. So it's a wonderful organization to get involved in, not only for leadership and communications, but because of the connections that you can make. And Toastmasters a few years ago rebranded themselves, and they changed their tagline to Toastmasters where leaders are made. And the reason that they did that is they realized that the world needs leaders. Leaders need to be trained and educated and formed. And leaders had families, coaches, teams. They run businesses. They mentor others. So they know that it's not just in the business world, but it's also in your personal life, your family life, maybe your church, that type of thing. So there's a lot of opportunities for people to be leaders, but there's not a lot of opportunities to really get that experience, and that's what Toastmasters really offers.
Wow. I mean, you think of Toastmasters. I know myself when I first heard about it, and I know we've shared this with you before. I just thought it was a place that I would go and learn how to be more comfortable with my public speaking. But over the years and getting to know you and Scott and others here in our area that are really active in Toastmasters, I'm just, amazed at how much more it actually adds to a person in all areas of business and life.
Right, and the leadership opportunities that actually Toastmasters gives you, it all goes all the way from at the club level. You start out as a club officer, but then, you can move up to area leadership, division leadership, district leadership, and then all the way up to the international level. And the entire organization is all volunteer. So many of those positions are either appointed positions or they're elected positions.
Mm-hmm. Do you find, I know yourself, you've shared your story and how you got involved with Toastmasters. Thank you, Scott, with your husband there. It's just kind of something that was what he was involved in, and you just kind of went along for the ride, and you were hooked. He hooked you in, definitely.
Yeah, I came on kicking and screaming. I wasn't all for it at first.
Well, and with that in mind, knowing what you know now, what you've learned over the years, with especially those leadership skills, and reading your resume basically, and of all that you've been involved in, and would you contribute a lot of those skills and your knowledge now from your experience in Toastmasters?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, my entire background has been in accounting. I was in private and public accounting for about 30 years, and I wouldn't be caught dead at a networking event. I would not speak in public if you paid me $1 million. So those things were not even on my list at all. And then after I got involved in Toastmasters and went to a couple of meetings and went to some conferences, and I think the thing that drew me to Toastmasters the most was the people, because the people are so supportive, so encouraging. You've got a high quality of really good, honest, high integrity, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So the people is what really drew me in. And then I really fell into the leadership track because I really enjoyed helping people. And I realized that I loved working with people. I didn't love working with numbers as much. And so it just evolved into it really got me out of the accounting world. I transitioned into my first position as a public relations director for a chiropractic office, and from there got involved into Chamber of Commerce and now in the Chamber professional roles. And I realized that the Chamber of Commerce is very similar in structure to the Toastmaster organization. So everything that I have learned in leadership in Toastmasters has fed directly into what I do at the Chamber of Commerce, whether it's membership or helping businesses grow, mentoring businesses, different things like that. So Toastmasters definitely was a life changer for me, and I have to attribute the leadership skills that I gained in Toastmasters to where I am today.
Wow. And I'm thinking of that with everyone that I know that gets involved in Toastmasters, having you as their district director this last year and knowing your story, do you feel that led them to be more receptive of volunteering, to be more in a leadership role? Or how do those that are in Toastmasters that first come in and are just a little shy of, speaking, and that's why they're there, what seems to draw them into continuing, growing, and getting more involved in leadership?
Well, I do believe it's definitely by example, and if you set the example as being a leader, it's something that you can attain. You don't have to have the experience. Toastmasters offers training for every single leadership role that they have at every level. And I think once people see and hear that you were able to do it and see how much fun you have doing it and how enjoyable it is and how much passion you have for it, I definitely think that directly feeds into people being a little bit more willing